Hairspray was a film that was filmed during the time period where there was racism going on a lot. Yes, we still see racism to this day, but not as much as we used to before, which is, I mean, still sad. I really enjoyed this film, not just because it projected like racism, it also like events that were happening, they were also happening like in real life. I also liked it because of how like it was filmed, like how the scripts were written, like the kind of characters they got for each script. Like it was just amazing. I really liked this part of the film where Tracy was basically trying out to be in a team. They were singing, they were dancing in television. I really liked that part. She did go try out, but because of her physical appearance, they decided like, oh, you can't be in a team, which that kind of sucks. But it's something that to this day still happens in real life, that just because of your physical appearance, they don't want you to be doing this, or they just like tell you no.
Amber, there's no need to be cruel.
Would you swim in an integrated pool?
I sure would. I'm all for integration. It's the new frontier.
Not in Baltimore, it isn't. And may I be frank? First impressions can be tough, and when I saw you, I knew it. If your size weren't enough, your last answer just blew it. And so, my dear, so short and stout, you'll never be in, so we're kicking you out. With your form and your face, oh, well, it isn't your fault. You're just down with a case of Miss Baltimore Crabs. You may go.
Thank you.
I really like the part where she didn't end up making it, but then Link, which was like the main person from that dance group, he saw her and saw her moves, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna be in a group, like you're good. So they ended up like taking her in. Then there's this episode that, the next part was that basically Negros, which is colored people, had one day out of the month to be in television, just one out of the whole 30 days of the month. The program decided to be like, no, there's no, or like the television decided to be like, there's not going to be any more Negro days, so colored people are not going to be able to come on TV. And Tracy thought that was wrong, which is, yeah, like, and then seeing a colored person, a white person come and stand up for a colored person, it was just like, like, not shocking, but it's like something you don't see every day. So when that part of the film came out, like, it's just a good part. She did decided to do protesting, so they could get a day, or like get their day back or whatever, just because it is not fair. Of course it's not fair, because they're just colored people. That doesn't make them nonetheless or more than white people, which is something that I really liked from the film, because like you would see white people that they were thinking they were more than black people, and Tracy just stood up. She's like, yeah, I'm white, but like, in other words, like, yeah, I'm white, but I don't think that's right that you're treating people that are colored way less than us. So I really enjoyed that part of the film.
Mom, come on. You knew there'd be police.
I didn't know there'd be cameras.
No.
I cannot be seen on television if this doesn't wait.
Excuse me. Is there some reason we can't pass by peacefully?
I strongly suggest you and your little friends head back to where you come from.
Hey, you don't have to be so rude.
Tracy. It's all right, Tracy. I can handle this.
Excuse me. She was talking to you.
Tracy, no.
You just assaulted a police officer, miss.
I'm what?
Hey! All right, boys. Let's take the whole lot in.
Okay, so what societal views, values, and norms were prevalent within the film's time period. So in the movie, the societal views revolved around racism. This movie takes place in the 60s, like barely coming into the 60s civil rights movement. So there was this was in the marches to integrate students, to integrate people, was barely starting. And so a lot of people didn't. Throughout the movie, you see the discrimination against the black people. And although they don't really show the super hard hitting stuff, they don't show anything too violent, from looking at that movie, you can tell what time period it is. You can use context clues to figure out that black people were being discriminated against. And basically, like, in the main character, her values are completely different from the societal values. The society's values were racist. They did not want to accept black people. Their values were that they were better, more human than black people, basically. But the main character, she saw them as equal. She didn't value them less because of their skin color, and she was very accepting of them. Even in the movie, she says how integration is the new frontier, meaning that it's the future. And although a lot of people didn't agree with her, by the end of the movie, you see how we shouldn't judge people based on their skin colors, and how integration is in fact the new frontier. There's an example of, like, the way this movie portrays the 60s and how black people were treated. There's multiple scenes, but one, I guess the most obvious ones, is when the main character, Tracy, she gets sent to detention for having her hair up too high, or I think she yawned, she got sent to detention. And when she went to detention, she realized she was the only white kid in detention. And this is to prove how back then in the 60s, when schools were being integrated, any little thing a black person did, they got sent to detention. It didn't even matter what they did. They could have been wearing a black shirt, or like they could have just yawned by accident. Any little thing that a black student did got sent to detention. And they could literally leave school and the school wouldn't care, as long as they didn't have to take care of them anymore. So, all of it, the whole movie does revolve around racism. And luckily, by the end of it, you see how society evolves along with the main character into realizing that being racist is not right, and that everybody is born the same, everybody is human, and it is important to accept everybody, no matter their skin color, culture, background.
In my class, Tracy turned black. I trust it was something really important.
Shut up, then.
What you looking at?
Nothing, not you.
Can I help you?
That moves swift.
You got that?
Cause the world keeps spinning round and round, and my heart's beating high in the sky.